Hey everyone, it's me, Corrie Sommers, your local Los Angeles Realtor. Today we're going to be diving into the second part of gated communities here in Los Angeles. Again, really excited about this, and if you haven't taken the time yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I want you to ask you to go ahead and do so as we get into a little interlude for just a few seconds here. Click the subscribe button below and the bell for all the updates because videos are done pretty much weekly, sometimes twice a week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be right back. Starting today with Beaumont Estates, which is a private gated community in Beverly Crest off of Mulholland. This is actually very close to the Truesdale Estates, and homes here tend to be on larger lots, some actually up to a whole acre. The homes in this particular gated community share amazing views of the Los Angeles Basin, the Pacific Ocean, and on very clear days, all the way to Catalina. What is also happening within this community is that as older homes are coming on the market, developers are buying these homes, tearing them down, and building mega mansions that are on average 13,000 square feet and higher. So depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for some amazing views, if you're looking for privacy, if you're looking for a bigger lot to feel maybe more comparable, if you're someone that's a transplant from the East Coast or another part of the country where you get a little bit more land for homes, this might be the right one for you. Beaumont Estates was established in the 1920s, and the earlier homes were built in the 1920s, but the bulk of the development was done from the 40s to the 60s. And again, great views in this particular area. There are very large estates, and what's unique about the location is you have access both to Beverly Hills and even the Valley. Valley Oak Drive is the only gated community in the Hollywood Hills. I think for most of us, when we think the Hollywood Hills, we really think about the homes that are, kind of on the cliff, looking over the city. But there is a gated community in the Hollywood Hills. It is Valley Oaks Drive. It is nestled in the neighborhood of the Oaks at the base of Bronson Canyon and Valley Oak Drive. It's just a few blocks from Griffith Park, Los Feliz, and Thigh-Town. It's a private, exclusive community that has actually been home to many celebrities over the years. And it is a little of a throwback, if you will. A lot of homes are an arts and crafts style, which we don't always see as much of. But given the location, it makes sense. Los Feliz has a lot of arts and crafts, and that puts you closer to Silver Lake in that part of Los Angeles. What's also really special about this particular gated community is there is some serious architectural significance to the homes here, as most of the homes were designed by Frank A. Brown and built in the early 1900s. Now, there's actually a pretty well-known home here called the Artisma, which is an arts and crafts masterpiece. Again, I mentioned there's quite a few arts and crafts homes here, designed by, of course, Frank A. Brown and built in 1913. This home sits on the highest point in Valley Oak Drive, and it gives the home kind of like a Swiss chalet vibe and exterior. It's located at 5821 Valley Oak Drive, in case you want to take a look or do a little bit of Googling. And again, another private gated community, the only one in the Hollywood Hills, if that's an area that makes a lot of sense for you and something you've been wanting to live near or in. Did you know that Los Feliz also has a gated community? That's right, there is a gated community in Los Feliz called Laughlin Park. Laughlin Park was developed in 1913, and some of the residents were early Hollywood film legends like Charlie Chaplin, W.C. Fields, and Cecil DeMille. So it has a bit of throwback Hollywood vibe to this particular area. The subdivision started with 40 homes, and it was built over the years. Many lots were actually subdivided as time went on because, again, they were a little bit on the larger side, and so now there's 70 homes in this particular gated community. Sorry, 77 homes. The estates and mansions here are on relatively large lots compared to the rest of Los Angeles, and there's a very wide range of architectural diversity in this particular gated community. You have homes that are contemporary, craftsman, Mediterranean, modern, traditional, and even Tudor style homes. So if you're looking for a neighborhood that's different and it's not a cookie cutter or everything is not more of the same, this could be a great one for you. Again, it is the only gated community in Los Feliz. Los Feliz is actually a pretty great area. Depending on what part of Los Angeles you might work in, it could be like the best route for you to avoid the most traffic or just really get a really cool vibe and sense of some of the more interesting parts of Los Angeles for architectural significance. Now, I did say that there's only one major gated community in the Hollywood Hills, but there's also a mini gated neighborhood of just a dozen homes at the base of the Hollywood Hills called Brea Terrace. Now, this is just off La Brea, north of Franklin. Again, really at the base, and just a dozen homes, and they're all classic historical cultural monuments like the Atkin Farnham Swan House. Again, just a dozen homes, so this might be too small of a gated neighborhood for you, or might just be perfect because maybe you don't want a lot of neighbors and you don't really want to get too deep into the hills or too far away from a freeway. This could be just right for you. So we're going to shift over to Malibu. Malibu has a number of gated communities of homes, and the first one we're going to discuss is the Sierra Retreat. This is in eastern Malibu near the Malibu Mart. It's one of the few commercial centers of mostly rural Malibu, the Malibu Mart. And it's a small secluded community in the hills of Malibu Canyon. This enclave gets its name from the Sierra Retreat Center, which was a Catholic retreat and conference center operated by Franciscan friars. The grounds occupies the hillside of the neighborhood, and there are only two ways to enter into Sierra Retreats. The first is located to the right of Pacific Coast Highway, and the other is across from Malibu Canyon. These are both gated entries, so there's a gate guarding both and a guard person working both. So this is not an area that you can just drive through freely. You do have to be admitted. That's one of the wonderful things about this particular one. Malibu is just such a great part of Los Angeles. You get a combination of rustic mountains and beach vibes, and there's also a lot of wildlife out there too. As far as the home sizes in the homes located in Sierra Retreat, they tend to be a little bit less than an acre, but there are quite a few that are over 4 acres. And of course, they have amazing views. There's several sweeping estates and equestrian properties, which is very common in Malibu. Malibu is definitely an equestrian haven, if you will. And the hillside homes have amazing views, as one would expect, of the Pacific Ocean, Malibu Lagoon, and the Malibu Pier. So if you love Malibu but don't necessarily want to be right on the ocean, maybe you're concerned about weather, earthquakes, or I don't know, pending tsunami, having a home in Malibu on the hills above the ocean coastline on the hills where you get a view of the ocean is actually pretty spectacular. I had a friend in college that grew up in Malibu, and let me tell you, it was amazing views right outside the porch in the back. It was pretty stunning. Second is Malibu Colony. Now, Malibu Colony is a beachfront gated community, most often coined or dubbed as the original Malibu. The gated entry of Malibu Colony sits right off of PCH by the Malibu Country Mart as well. And the homes here are all beachfront properties, and it abuts Malibu Point and Malibu Lagoon State Beach, not Malibu, Malibu Lagoon State Beach. And oceanside homes here really are, kind of started back to the golden age of Hollywood. All the homes in Malibu Colony are well over $10 million. So if you watched my video last week about Measure ULA, this absolutely applies to homes here. Many of the lots are small. They're on average about 30 feet wide. In the north side of Malibu Colony Road, some of the larger lots have enough space for a tennis court, which is fantastic, or a small pool. And oceanfront lots, predominantly on the south side, are like long, narrow roads, but the homes are really impressive. If beachside living, Malibu is for you. This is definitely a community to consider. Next gated community we're going to talk about in Malibu is Malibu Cove Colony. Now, this is also a gated community that has luxury beachfront homes, which is very special. And this area is popular for surfers because of the surf breaks that develop along the beach over here. It's located south of Paradise Cove, and the homes here are actually wider than the homes in the Malibu Colony. And so again, the lot sizes tend to be about 30 feet wide. Some are a little bit wider, but this really allows the building construction to be more narrow homes, but they're very open in feel, which is wonderful. So you have the ocean right out your back windows or your backyard, so to speak, but your home tends to be an open concept, which really gives like the sense of space, and what a way to enjoy nature, right? And for those that are concerned about the elements of nature, rain, erosion from the ocean, most of the homes were built with some caissons built deep into the sand to give it some sturdiness and support. So that's something, if that aspect of living by the beach is a concern for you, you might want to check out homes in this particular gated community. Sea Level Drive is a luxury gated community near Broad Beach in Malibu. There's about 37 luxury homes here, and it's divided into two sections. The first section, which is known as First Sea Level Drive, the homes are positioned one of two ways that sit directly on the sandbank on pier foundations, and homes across the street are the only row of homes that are actually on the water. The West Sea Level Drive is another small section, and only one home has oceanfront, while the rest are perched above the bluffs above the shore. So these two sections combined make up Sea Level Drive, but they are also a mixture of wide and narrow lots. And so there's a balance of homes here in architectural styles and structure. Some are very square, and then some are actually more traditional. Again, 37 homes here on Sea Level Drive, gated community in Malibu. This is our last gated community in Malibu, and then we're going to switch over to Pacific Palisades. Ridgeview Country Estates is the only gated community in Pacific Palisades. Now, this consists of 46 luxury homes, and they are in the hills of Pacific Palisades. The small community, because 46 homes is on a smaller scale. These homes have ocean views, and they are all custom built. Most are over 10,000 square feet. So these homes are pretty large, amazing ocean views, wonderful location. And the styles tend to be a bit of a mix because the lot sizes are larger as well. So if you do like the idea of the beach and you don't want to go as far as Malibu, Pacific Palisades might be an option for you. And again, this particular gated community, Ridgeview Country Estates, could be the right one. We are going to wrap up coverage of gated communities in Los Angeles by jumping over the hill into the San Fernando Valley. Now, first up is Hidden Hills. I've done a complete video on Hidden Hills, which does a deeper dive of entry-level homes and whatnot. Now, the homes in Hidden Hills, this is a private gated community. You can only get in through the gate. Very, very exclusive, very protected. I mean, trust me, if you got off the freeway and accidentally drove up, someone's gonna ask you, what are you doing? Big equestrian community. And the homes here are on much larger lots. This particular community has been known for the number of celebrities that live in it, and there are approximately 670 homes. It is situated on the western foothills of the valley, west of Woodland Hills and Calabasas, next to Ventura County. One of the things that I'll share at this point too is developer A.E. Hansen, who is the developer of the Rolling Hills Estates and Palos Verdes Estates, is the brainchild behind the development of Hidden Hills, and this was developed in the 1950s. He really was committed to maintaining the integrity of this particular community. And so there is a Hidden Hills Community Association architectural community. So if new construction is going to take place, it must get approved and meet the requirements designated by this particular committee. The area, in addition to being known for equestrian properties and many people riding their horses or riding the horses to pick up their kids from the school buses and all the barns on the properties, is it's well known for animals. So there's cows on properties, there's llamas, ostriches, and many other exotic type of animals. Again, this area covers about 6 miles of roads, and there's 25 miles of horse trails within Hidden Hills, which is pretty special too. So if you are a horse owner and you want that privacy, you want to be in a prestigious gated community, this might be one to consider. Again, homes here are on the higher echelon of pricing. It's rare to find a home under $10 million, so Measure ULA does definitely apply here. And if you actually live here right now and are thinking, is it time to get out? We can have a conversation about that. But this is definitely, as far as gated communities in the San Fernando Valley, the most prestigious of all communities. Now, Tarzana has 3 gated communities, and they're all pretty special and similar. The first is Mount Verde, which is located south of Riverside Boulevard in the city of Tarzana. This gated community is near Brea Country Club and Laughlin Park gated community and the Silver Ridge community. They're all very close together, and the development in this particular community, the homes start at about 4,800 square feet, so they're good size, and they range up to about 6,700 square feet in size. The Mount Verde Estates is the smallest of the 3 gated communities in Tarzana, and the HOA for this community is about $350 a month, which covers, of course, general maintenance, community upgrades, streets, landscaping, that sort of thing. There is 24-hour security, which also comes out of the HOA fees. This is an option for people that want something more prestigious, that want to be, kind of set apart and yet feel very safe in a private area. The second gated community in Tarzana is Laughlin Park Estates. And this is really known as the most prestigious and exclusive gated community in Tarzana. It's located at the very top of Reseda Boulevard off the 101 freeway in the Santa Monica Mountains. This community is neighbors to, again, the Brea Country Club to the west and Silver Ridge gated community to the south. Entry at this development starts at about 5,000 square feet homes. The HOA is about $615 a month, which, again, same thing. HOAs in these gated communities are covering your common areas, your streets, your landscape maintenance, as well as the salary for your guards. And it is 24-hour guard security. The Laughlin Park Estates has been home to a number of celebrities over the years and is pretty well known for having celebrity residents. There are 176 homes in the community. Because this was specifically built and designed as a gated community, there tends to be about 5 different styles or floor plans, if you will, that were built over and over again. And so again, they range about 5,000 square feet all the way up to 8,000 square feet. So they're not small homes, they're really good sized homes. And this community, in addition to being private, exclusive, and having celebrities, has actually been featured in Keeping Up in the Kardashian show, as well as this was the home that Khloe Kardashian had at one point with Lamar Odom. The last gated community in Tarzana is Silverhawk Ridge Estates, which again is in very close proximity to the other 2 gated communities. It's adjacent to the Brea Country Club and El Calbero Country Club. It's surrounded by the Santa Monica Mountains, which gives panoramic views of the San Fernando Valley. It offers 24-hour security, guard-gated, manned gated entry, and it's close to a lot of shopping and dining, and there's miles and miles of nature trails around. So if you're like a hiker or you want to walk the dog in nature, this is really a great option for you. It's close to, again, the other gated communities, Laughlin Park and Monte Vista Estates. Many of the homes have incredible views of the hills and the valley, and the homes in general range from 3,000 square feet to 6,000 square feet. There is a monthly HOA fee. Again, it covers your general maintenance, the guard salary, as well as some landscaping. But this particular one does offer you to join the Brea Country Club, and the Country Club has a 4,600 square foot fitness center, swimming pool, and 12-hole golf course. So if you're an avid golfer, this might be the community to actually buy in when it comes to living in the Tarzana gated communities. So last but not least, we're going to wrap this up with the gated communities located in Woodland Hills. Now, the most predominant gated community, which is what you would expect from a gated community, is the Winchester Country Estates. It's 24-hour gated, manned, luxury community in Woodland Hills. Very private, total of 104 homes. These are really grand homes and estates. Like with all the grandness you would expect, sweeping staircases, libraries, home offices, all of those great things, pools and everything else. This particular community was developed in the 80s, and homes are on larger parcels than most of Los Angeles. And so here, the homes tend to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 square feet all the way up to 10,000 square feet. The community kind of goes up on an incline. So I've shown a number of homes here. You start off at the guard gate, you go up, and so you're driving kind of like at a slant up. And so the homes at the top have a nicer view than the homes at the very bottom of the entry of this particular community. But it is an amazing community. It is, like I said, very private, very safe, a lot of great homes, a lot of grand homes, and the size just can't be beat. The Winchester Country Estates is located near Tarzana Park and the Woodland Hills Country Club, and homes are over 2 million all the way up to 6 to 7 million. So that's kind of like the average there. But again, measure ULA, the homes that are over 5 million do fall into that extra large transfer tax. Medina Estates is an affluent and gated community in Woodland Hills, located near the Woodland Hills Country Club. It is a much smaller one, and kind of like the Hollywood Hills one that only has a dozen homes. This only has 9 homes, and the homes range from 2,500 square feet to 7,000 square feet. So a much smaller gated community. This is followed by Sienna Homes, a gated community in Woodland Hills of about 45 residents. Cantera Homes, which is another gated community in Woodland Hills with only 7 residents. These homes are on the larger size, 3,000 to 5,000 square feet. Summit Point Estates is a luxury gated community located off Topanga, Woodland Hills. It's guarded 24 hours. The homes are on larger lots, which allow many of the homes to have pools and wonderful views. So if that's important to you, this might be one to consider. The Winnetka Estates is a very small gated community in Woodland Hills, and it contains 4 luxury homes. It's almost just a street, right? These homes are on larger lots and have wonderful outdoor entertaining space. And the homes range in size from 4,700 square feet to over 8,400 square feet. Most of the bedrooms in these 4 homes is 5 to 6 bedrooms. So they are a pretty good size, and this was built in the 80s as well. The Beaumont Estates has some of the most expansive and luxury homes in Woodland Hills as a gated community, and there are HOA fees for this community as well. So again, this is part 2 of gated community in Los Angeles, and this one did cover the gated communities in the San Fernando Valley, which is much smaller compared to those in the LA Basin. And if you watched the other video, or if you haven't watched it yet, please go back and watch it. But I would say that the bulk of gated communities here in Los Angeles is Beverly Hills and Brentwood, and in that general area. What was fun for me, because I do have a client that wants a gated community, was really diving in on a deeper level, because I obviously know quite a bit of these, but there's quite a number still that I was like, oh wow, I totally forgot about that, or I haven't been able to see a home there yet. And I think it's just very interesting, some of the history on these particular communities, and the ones that were deliberately built to have that type of prestige, exclusivity, landscape, yardscape, and the views, because that's really what being in a prestigious community is all about, right? The safety, views, or what other amenities that living there has to offer. Again, Hidden Hills is just a little bit different because it really is an equestrian type of community. I hope all of this information has been very helpful to you. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, I want to ask you to take a moment to click the subscribe button below, as well as the bell for updates. And if you haven't watched part 1 of gated communities in Los Angeles, please do so. As I mentioned in that particular first video, Calabasas has a number of deliberately designed gated communities, which I'm going to do separate from this because a lot of that was covered in the Calabasas video already, but I will make a special highlight on the gated communities in Calabasas sometime in the future. Thank you guys again so much for watching. See you next time.